Hello and welcome to Kickoff Commentary. My name is Joshua, and today on Rookie Rundown we're going to cover the Cowboys' 4th round pick Dalton Schultz, their 5th round pick Mike White, and their first 6th round pick Chris Covington. Dalton Schultz is a 6'6", 242-pound tight end out of the University of Stanford. He was born in Sandy, Utah, and played his high school football at Bingham High School. Like most of the Cowboys players in this draft, he was a multi-sport athlete in high school, playing basketball as well. While in high school, he totaled 76 catches, 1,120 yards, and 12 touchdowns. After his senior season, he committed to Stanford in 2014. As a redshirt freshman, he played in all 14 games, though primarily as a backup behind eventual Falcons tight end Austin Hooper. He became the starter for his sophomore season, where he was used mainly as a blocking tight end. There, he helped his teammates Christian McCaffrey and Bryce Love put up monster seasons, with Bryce Love being a Heisman candidate in 2017. While at Stanford, Schultz must have been a fan of nickels, because he put up 55 catches for 555 yards and 5 touchdowns. After this, he declared for the NFL draft after his junior season. He was taken by the Cowboys with the 137th overall pick. With Jason Witten, Cowboys legend and 11-time Pro Bowler, announcing his retirement during the draft, it will be up to Jeff Swaim, Rico Gathers, Blake Jarwin, and Dalton Schultz himself to replace the greatness of Jason Witten. Let's hope they succeed. Now let's move on to Mike White. Mike White is a 6'4", 220-pound quarterback out of Western Kentucky. He was born in Pembroke Peaks, Florida, and played his high school football at NSU University School in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. He became the starter his senior season and was extremely efficient, throwing for 22 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, winning his school state title, and becoming the Florida 3A Player of the Year. Of course, as with most Cowboys draft picks this year, he was a multi-sport athlete. He was a talented pitcher and put up a 9-2 record his final year. After high school, he committed to University of South Florida. He started 5 games as a freshman, but he faced struggles. He threw 3 touchdowns to 9 interceptions. He became the full-time starter his sophomore year, but he actually regressed a little bit. He completed only an abysmal 50% of his passes, threw 8 touchdown passes to 7 picks in 10 games. After this season, at the time USF head coach Willie Taggart moved the team from a pro-style offense to a more spread-type offense. Mike White is not a mobile quarterback like the spread offense usually requires, so after this he transferred to Western Kentucky. Funnily enough, this is the opposite path of the team's coach Willie Taggart, who was at Western Kentucky before coaching at USF. He sat out a year due to NCAA rules before becoming the full-time starter for Western Kentucky in 2016. There, he finally hit his stride. He started all 14 games, threw for 4,363 yards, 37 touchdowns to just 7 interceptions. He returned for his senior season, where he put up another impressive 4,177 yards, 27 touchdowns, and 8 picks. Fun fact for the video, he was sacked the same amount of times in his senior season as the previous 3 years combined, making that senior season even more impressive. After this, the Cowboys took him with the 171st overall pick in the draft. Now, unlike most draft picks this year, if all goes well for the Cowboys, Mike White will never see the field, as Dak Prescott will be the starter this season. However, in the untimely event that Prescott goes down, let's hope Mike White's ready. And finally, Chris Covington. Chris Covington is a 6'2", 245-pound linebacker out of Indiana. He was born in Chicago, Illinois, and played his high school football at Al Rabi High School. There, he played both quarterback and defensive back. As a senior, he put up some pretty wild numbers. He put up 1,993 passing yards, 26 passing touchdowns, 657 rushing yards, 13 rushing touchdowns, intercepted 3 passes, and forced 1 fumble. Although he breaks our streak of multi-sport athletes, he is the 3rd non-quarterback to play quarterback in high school on this draft, joining Leighton Vander Esch and Michael Gallup. After high school, he committed to the University of Indiana. Originally, he was recruited as a defensive player, but after 2 of Indiana's backup quarterbacks transferred away, Covington became the backup. He played sporadically in the first 4 of the 5 games of the season, mainly as a running back in the Wildcat formation. He got some full-time action in game number 6 when the starter, current Eagles backup Nate Sudfeld, went down with a separated shoulder. Unfortunately, this action didn't last long either, as Covington himself went down with an ACL tear, ending his freshman season. The real stranger things would be getting a quarterback to last 4 quarters at Indiana. After this, Covington was moved to linebacker for his sophomore season, where he played very little and only registered 4 tackles. He got his first start in the 11th game of his junior season, where he recorded 6 tackles, 1 sack, and 1 forced fumble. As a senior, he finally had his breakout year where he posted 85 tackles, 3 sacks, and a fumble recovery. He was named the team's Defensive Player of the Year. After this, the Cowboys took him with the 193rd pick of the draft. Covington is the first Indiana linebacker taken since the Browns took Van Waiters in 1988. So what do you guys think of the Cowboys' picks today? Do you think they're going to be contributors, or do you think they were a bit of a wash? Let me know down in the comments section, and tell me more players you'd like to see on Rookie Rundown. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more, have a great day, and we'll see you next time when we cover the Cowboys' last 2 draft picks, Cedric Wilson and Bo Scarborough.